Walk into almost any club, gym, or coffee shop today, and you'll notice a distinct, heavy silence. Men are no longer initiating contact. Scroll through social media, and you'll find thousands of women asking the exact same question. They spend hours getting dressed up. They step out into public spaces giving clear green lights, and they still go home without a single guy walking up to say hello. A few years ago, the dominant conversation was entirely different. Women were frequently exposing gym creeps, filming men who looked their way, and asking to be left alone. This friction has created a noticeable deceleration in the traditional social chase. It's left a generation of women staring into a vacuum where public validation used to be. Society has a very quick, reflexive diagnosis for this silence. The popular consensus is that modern men have become intimidated, emotionally fragile, or simply forgot how to talk to women. We frequently look to the recent past, searching for traditional benchmarks of confident masculinity to point out exactly what today's men are supposedly missing. But confidence hasn't evaporated. Men are looking at the new behavioral economics of dating, running the numbers, and making a rational choice to opt out. The silence we're hearing represents a calculated strategy of self-preservation, practiced by men who have looked at the current rules of the game and decided the cost of entry is too high. For decades, dating was understood as a numbers game. You walked up, offered a polite hello, and the most likely outcome was a straightforward rejection. Today, the geometry of that risk is asymmetrical. An awkward approach no longer ends with a simple no. The concept of the ick has been weaponized. It transitioned from a private indicator of incompatibility into a public label designed specifically to humiliate. After experiencing this environment repeatedly, a man's dignity takes a massive hit. The constant threat of being mocked online creates an exhausting psychological tax. Men are pulling back to shield their sanity and their future. They are protecting their peace of mind from the threat of catastrophic reputational damage. Women often state they want a man who is confident enough to approach them. In reality, they are operating a selective trap, where that confidence is only tolerated from a microscopic, elite fraction of the population. For the average guy, trying to strike up a conversation feels like stepping into a hostile job interview for a position he never actually applied for. We see this double standard constantly. An approach labeled aggressive from a normal guy is celebrated as romantic when coming from a high-status celebrity. For men at this top tier, the concept of approaching is inverted. The environment clears the path, making the interaction entirely frictionless for them. The mathematical reality for everyone else is clear. When putting in effort without sheer perfection is treated as an offensive act, the logical move is to stop expending effort. Historically, relationships offered men a clear return on investment. They found purpose and social value in protecting, providing, and building a life for a partner who appreciated that effort. Modern courtship has stripped away that appreciation, replacing it with a transactional process. Men are expected to plan every detail, pay every bill, and perform on command, often while being treated as entirely disposable. This chart shows exactly how that value exchange has collapsed. While the line tracking a man's required financial input and effort remains high and steady, the line representing his emotional return on investment and validation plummets to near zero. Modern love operates like a high-end subscription service with exorbitant monthly fees and minimal actual returns. Men are simply choosing to cancel their subscriptions. When any system heavily penalizes participation, human behavior dictates that people will take the path of least resistance and walk away. All of that unspent time, money, and social energy is now being redirected. Men are pouring their resources into quiet self-investment, lifting weights, building businesses, and finding stability in their own focused solitude. They haven't forgotten how to pursue women. They have finally learned how to approach and build up themselves. Escaping the constant performance pressure and the endless guessing games yields a profound sense of relief. That kind of peace is addictive. There is a glaring double standard in how we view independence today. Women are universally celebrated and empowered for saying they don't need a partner, while men making the exact same choice are often ridiculed as bitter or damaged. The men stepping away still want deep connection and real love. They are simply refusing to acquire it at the cost of their sanity and dignity. The silence reflects a generational shift. a widespread realization that if the game is rigged, the only winning move is to walk away.